Imagine this, a quiet suburban street in Cottonwood Heights, Utah, where a decorated National Guardsman, a man who served his country with honor, vanishes without a trace. His wife, Jennifer Gledhill, says he just walked out one night, leaving his life behind. But what if the truth is darker? What if the person closest to him was hiding a secret so explosive it would unravel a marriage, a family, and a community? Welcome to True Crime Vault HQ, where we uncover the truth behind the cases that haunt us. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single detail. In late September 2024, Cottonwood Heights, a peaceful suburb of Salt Lake City, was rocked by the sudden disappearance of 51-year-old Matthew Johnson. Matthew was a respected member of the Utah National Guard, known for his discipline and dedication. He lived in a modest home with his wife, Jennifer Gledhill, a 41-year-old woman described by neighbors as outgoing and charming. The couple had been married for years, raising a blended family, and to the outside world, their life seemed stable, maybe even ordinary. But on September 28, 2024, Matthew's co-workers reported him missing after he failed to show up for work. This wasn't like him. Matthew was punctual, reliable, a man of routine. His phone was off, his car was still parked at home, and there was no sign of him anywhere. Jennifer told police a simple story. Matthew had been acting distant, and on the night of September 20th, he left the house after an argument, saying he needed space. She assumed he'd come back, but he never did. Investigators weren't so sure. Matthew's colleagues described him as a devoted father and soldier, not the type to abandon his responsibilities. His bank accounts showed no activity, and his personal belongings, wallet, keys, even his military gear were still at home. Something wasn't adding up. As police dug deeper, they noticed Jennifer's demeanor seemed oddly calm for a wife whose husband had vanished. Was she telling the whole truth? To understand what happened to Matthew, we need to go back to the months leading up to his disappearance. Matthew and Jennifer's marriage wasn't as picture-perfect as it seemed. Friends revealed that the couple had been struggling for some time. Matthew, a stoic and private man, had confided in a close colleague that he suspected Jennifer was hiding something. He didn't elaborate, but those who knew him said he seemed increasingly withdrawn in the summer of 2024. Jennifer, on the other hand, was more social, often seen at local events or chatting with neighbors, but some noticed a change in her behavior. 2. She was spending more time away from home, claiming it was for work or errands. Rumors began to swirl about tension in the Johnson-Gledhill household. Was there a breaking point? Police started looking into Matthew's last known movements. On September 20th, 2024, the night Jennifer said he left, neighbors reported hearing raised voices from the house. Nothing unusual enough to call the police, but enough to raise eyebrows. Matthew's phone last pinged near their home that night, then went dead. Investigators began to suspect foul play, but they needed evidence. Here's where the story takes a turn. While searching Matthew's phone records, police uncovered a bombshell. Jennifer had been in frequent contact with another man. His identity hasn't been fully disclosed in public records, but court documents refer to him as a close acquaintance of Jennifer's. For the sake of this story, we'll call him Alex. Alex was someone Jennifer had known for months, possibly longer. Text messages recovered from her phone revealed a relationship that went beyond friendship. Flirtatious exchanges, late-night calls, and cryptic messages about needing to make a change painted a picture of an affair. Matthew, it seems, had grown suspicious. A close friend later told police that Matthew confronted Jennifer about her behavior just days before he disappeared. Did this confrontation push Jennifer to a desperate act? Police began to focus on Alex, interviewing him extensively. What he told them would blow the case wide open. Alex, it turns out, wasn't just a bystander. In a stunning twist, he went to the police with a story that implicated Jennifer directly. According to Alex, Jennifer had confessed something chilling to him on the night of September 20, 2024. After an argument with Matthew, she waited until he was asleep. Then, in a moment of cold calculation, she shot him in the head with a handgun. Matthew never left the house that night. He was dead. Alex claimed Jennifer asked for his help to cover it up. Together, they allegedly moved Matthew's body to a remote location where Jennifer buried him in a shallow grave. Alex provided police with text messages and recorded conversations that corroborated his story. In one message, Jennifer reportedly wrote, "It's done, no going back now." In another, she asked Alex to help her clean up the mess, but Alex's cooperation wasn't out of guilt alone. He claimed Jennifer had manipulated him, promising they could be together if Matthew was out of the picture. When he realized the gravity of what they'd done, he turned on her, handing over evidence that would seal her fate. Armed with Alex's testimony, police searched the Gledhill Johnson home. What they found was damning. In the master bedroom, forensic teams detected traces of blood on the mattress and carpet despite signs of heavy cleaning with bleach. The blood tested positive for a male DNA profile, though final confirmation of Matthew's identity was still pending as of late 2024. A search of Jennifer's car revealed soil samples that matched a remote area outside Cottonwood Heights, where police suspected Matthew's body was hidden. Jennifer was arrested on October 2, 2024, and charged with first-degree murder, obstruction of justice, and desecration of a human body. During questioning, she stuck to her story. Matthew left on his own, but the evidence was mounting. Investigators found a handgun registered to Jennifer in the home, and ballistics tests were underway to determine if it was the murder weapon. The search for Matthew's body continued, with police combing the rugged Utah wilderness. Cadaver dogs and ground-penetrating radar were deployed, but as of the latest reports, Matthew's remains have not been found. As of June 2025, Jennifer Gledhill's case remains one of the most talked about in Utah, with the trial still looming on the horizon. After her arrest on October 2, 2024, Jennifer was charged with first-degree murder, obstruction of justice, and desecration of a human body. The prosecution's case is built on a tripod of evidence: the testimony of Jennifer's alleged affair partner, whom we're calling Alex, the forensic findings in the Gledhill Johnson home, and Jennifer's own inconsistent statements, which have raised red flags from the start. Let's break down the prosecution's strategy. They argue that Jennifer meticulously planned Matthew Johnson's murder. The blood evidence found in the master bedroom traces on the mattress and carpet, despite heavy cleaning with bleach, is a cornerstone of their case. Preliminary DNA tests indicate the blood belongs to a male, and while final confirmation of Matthew's identity is pending, prosecutors are confident it's his. They've also pointed to soil samples found in Jennifer's car, which match a remote area in the Wasatch Front where police believe Matthew's body was buried. The prosecution paints a picture of a woman driven by passion and desperation, willing to kill her husband to protect her secret affair, but the defense isn't sitting idly by. Jennifer's legal team has launched an aggressive counterattack, zeroing in on Alex's credibility or lack thereof. They argue he's an unreliable witness, a man who admitted to helping cover up a crime and only came forward to save himself. Why should we trust someone who was complicit? They've asked in pretrial hearings. They've also challenged the forensic evidence, calling it circumstantial. The blood in the bedroom, they claim, could belong to anyone, and the absence of Matthew's body weakens the murder charge. Without a corpse, they argue, the prosecution can't definitively prove Matthew is dead, let alone that Jennifer killed him. The defense has also hinted at an alternative theory, that Matthew, distraught over his marriage's collapse, may have taken his own life or fled. They've pointed to his recent withdrawn behavior, as noted by colleagues, to suggest he was under immense emotional strain. Could Matthew have staged his own disappearance? It's a long shot, but it's a narrative designed to plant doubt. In a jury's mind, the courtroom has become a battleground of emotions. Matthew's family, particularly his children from a previous marriage, have attended every hearing, their faces etched with grief. Jennifer, meanwhile, maintains her innocence, appearing composed but distant in court. Observers have noted her lack of outward emotion, which some interpret as coldness, while others see it as shock. Her defense team has requested psychological evaluations suggesting Jennifer may have been under duress or manipulated by Alex, but prosecutors dismiss this as a ploy to garner sympathy. The case has also drawn attention to the handgun found in the home, registered to Jennifer. Ballistics tests are still ongoing, but if the weapon is linked to a crime scene, it could be the nail in Jennifer's coffin. Yet, without Matthew's body, the prosecution faces an uphill battle. Legal experts following the case compare it to other high-profile no-body murder trials, like that of Susan Powell in Utah, where convictions were secured despite missing remains. Will the same happen here? Only time will tell. The disappearance of Matthew Johnson and the allegations against his wife have sent shockwaves through Cottonwood Heights, a tight-knit community unaccustomed to such high-profile scandals. Neighbors who once saw Jennifer as a friendly face at block parties now whisper about her double life. She seemed so normal, one neighbor told a local news outlet. Always smiling, always waving, it's hard to believe she could do something like this. Others, however, recall subtle signs: Jennifer's frequent absences, her guarded conversations, the tension that seemed to hang over the house. Matthew's colleagues in the Utah National Memorial have rallied around his memory. At a memorial service held in November 2024, they described him as a man of honor, a soldier who put duty above all else. Matt was the kind of guy who'd give you the shirt off his back, one fellow guardsman said. He didn't deserve this. The service was a somber affair, with Matthew's children delivering tearful tributes. His eldest daughter, in a heartbreaking moment, spoke of her father's love for hiking in the Utah mountains. Ironic, given that those same mountains may now conceal his remains. The case has also sparked broader conversations about infidelity and its consequences. Local forums and social media groups in Utah have buzzed with debates. Was Jennifer a victim of her own emotions, caught in a toxic affair? Or was she a calculating predator who saw murder as her only way out? Posts on X reflect this divide, with some users calling her a black widow and others urging caution until all evidence is presented. One post, from a user named @JusticeForUtah, read, "We don't know the full story yet. Affairs are messy, but murder. That's a leap. Let's wait for the trial." Jennifer's family has remained largely silent, though a cousin spoke briefly to the press, expressing disbelief. Jen's not perfect, but she's not a killer. There's more to this than we're hearing. The statement has fueled speculation about Alex's role. Was he more than a reluctant accomplice? Some in the community wonder if he manipulated Jennifer, exploiting her vulnerabilities to orchestrate a crime he could later pin on her. Without his full backstory, it's a question that lingers. The case has also highlighted the challenges of no-body murder investigations. Police have continued their search for Matthew's remains using drones, cadaver dogs, and even volunteer search parties. The area where soil from Jennifer's car was matched is rugged and vast, making the task daunting. A local detective, speaking anonymously, admitted it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. But we won't stop until we bring Matt home. To understand why this tragedy unfolded, we need to explore Jennifer Gledhill's psyche. What drove a woman with no prior criminal record to allegedly commit such a heinous act? True crime often hinges on motive, and here the affair with Alex seems central. Text messages revealed a passionate, almost obsessive connection between them. Jennifer wrote of wanting a new start, of feeling trapped in her marriage. Matthew, by all accounts, was a steady but reserved man, perhaps unable to meet the emotional intensity Jennifer craved. Psychologists who've studied similar cases suggest affairs can create a dangerous tunnel vision. When someone is consumed by a new relationship, they can rationalize extreme actions, says Dr. Karen Ruskin, a relationship expert quoted in true crime documentaries. The affair becomes their reality and anything or anyone standing in the way feels like an obstacle to eliminate. Was this Jennifer's mindset? Did she see Matthew as a barrier to her happiness with Alex? But there's another layer: fear of exposure. Matthew's confrontation about the affair, as reported by his friend, may have pushed Jennifer to a breaking point. If he threatened divorce or to expose her infidelity, she could have faced social humiliation and financial loss. Utah's conservative culture, where family values are paramount, might have amplified her panic, losing her standing in the community. Her home, or even custody of her children, could have felt unbearable. Yet, some question whether Alex played a larger role. His decision to turn on Jennifer suggests either genuine remorse or self-preservation. Was he a passive participant, swept up in Jennifer's plan, or did he encourage her actions only to betray her when the heat was on? The recorded conversations he provided where Jennifer allegedly admitted to the murder are damning, but their context is unclear. Did he coax her into those statements? The trial may hinge on these questions. Jennifer Gledhill case is a stark reminder that even in the quietest corners of America, secrets can fester into something deadly. As of June 2025, Matthew Johnson's body remains missing, a haunting absence that denies his family closure. Jennifer sits in a Utah jail, awaiting a trial that could redefine her life and the truth. Will prosecutors secure a conviction without a body? Will Alex's testimony hold up under scrutiny? And what drove a seemingly ordinary woman to cross a line from infidelity to murder? This story resonates because it's not just about a crime, it's about trust shattered, a family broken, and a community left searching for answers. Matthew's children, his comrades, and even strangers on X continue to demand justice, posting hashtags like #FindMattJohnson and #TruthForUtah. The mountains of Utah hold their secrets, but investigators remain determined to uncover them. What do you think happened to Matthew Johnson? Was Jennifer a cold-blooded killer, manipulated by her lover, or is there another twist we haven't seen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone.